The air is heavy with the smell of fat sizzling on hot stones and the rich, metallic scent of blood. For this clan of Homo neanderthalensis, it is a time of impossible plenty. Pale late, warm autumn and a stroke of luck. A herd of steppe bison driven into a narrow ravine has given them more meat than they have seen in a generation. The clan gorges, their powerful jaws cracking through bone to get at the marrow, their hands slick with grease. Laughter, a series of deep, guttural burps, echoes off the rock shelter walls. This is the peak of existence, the good time, the memory they will cling to when the world turns white and silent again. But one of them does not share in the revelry. An older female sits apart, her own belly full, but her eyes are not on the feast. She watches the waste. She sees the swarms of flies already gathering on a half-eaten carcass. She sees the way the sun, even in its autumn mildness, is beginning to turn the edges of the discarded meat dark and foul. She sees the future. For the others, this glut of protein is a blessing, a gift from the spirits of the hunt. Thought, oh, it is of course a taunt. It is a mountain of life that will, in a matter of days, become a mountain of rot. This is the brutal, unforgiving rhythm of their lives, a key challenge in the epic of prehistoric life, the feast or famine cycle. She has seen it too many times. The memory is a physical ache in her bones. She remembers the winter 3 years ago, the endless snow, the failed hunts. She remembers the silence of a camp where the children no longer had the strength to cry. She remembers chewing on boiled leather for the phantom taste of nourishment. No. She looks at the feasting clan, their bellies distended, their minds blissfully empty of everything but the present moment of glorious satiation. Her foresight is not a gift. It is a profound and isolating burden. The successful hunting and foraging of today means nothing for the hunger of tomorrow. The others see me. She sees time. She sees the life in this food draining away with every hour that passes, spoiling under the same sun that they are all enjoying. A profound, revolutionary idea is beginning to form behind her heavy brow. It is a question that no one else is asking. Not what will we eat tomorrow, but how can we eat this meat tomorrow? The problem is not the scarcity of winter, but the abundance of now. The enemy is not the cold, but the rot. She looks at a thin sliver of meat drying on a sun-baked rock, a piece accidentally dropped and forgotten. It is hard, but it does not sting. An observation, a connection, the first flicker of a new kind of fire, not of wood, but of intellect. While her clan sleeps, their bellies full and their dreams peaceful. She will not rest. She is at war, not with a beast or a rival clan, but with the fundamental, inescapable law of decay. The next morning, the camp stirs slowly, stiff and groggy from the previous day's gluttony. But the old female is already at work. While the others slept, she selected her tool. It is a piece of flint, struck from a prepared core in the distinctive method of her people. A perfect leveluvi's flake. Its edges sharper than any tooth or claw. A testament to the sophisticated craft of these early humans and their array of moose-terrian tools. With this simple, elegant piece of stone, she begins her impossible task. She drags a bison haunch away from the communal pile, ignoring the sleepy, irritated grunts of a nearby male. The work is brutally hard. She is not butchering for a meal. She is dissecting with a purpose that no one else can comprehend. She slices the deep red muscle into long, thin strips, her powerful shoulders and wrists working in a steady, practiced rhythm. The repetitive motion is a form of thinking, a physical manifestation of her revolutionary idea. For every strip of meat she cuts, she is fighting an invisible war against time and microscopic life. The clan begins to watch her, their curiosity mingling with disdain. A young hunter, his face still greasy from the feast, laughs and points. He cannot understand. To him, she is mutilating good food, playing with it. He snatches a raw strip from her pile and devours it, shaking his head as if scolding a foolish child. The community, bound by the ancient wisdom of the present moment, sees her foresight as a kind of madness. She ignores them. After hours of labor, A great pile of meat strips lies at her feet. Now for the next step. She drags a large, dead thorn bush into the sunniest part of the clearing, a spot where the wind blows steadily down from the high rocks. With her chopper, she breaks off the smaller branches, creating a crude, lettuce track. She carefully drapes the meat strips over the thorns, spacing them so the air can circulate. It is a desperate, brilliant piece of improvisation, the birth of a technology forged from observation and need. This is the deliberate act of food preservation, a concept as alien to her clan as the moon itself. But her work is not done. While the meat begins to shrink and darken in the sun, she turns her attention to the ground. She has watched the squirrels bury nuts for the winter. A simple act of animal instinct she is about to elevate to a conscious strategy. She gathers acorns and hazelnuts, then uses a sharpened digging stick to excavate a deep pit in the cold, dry earth at the back of the cave. She lines the bottom with flat, dry stones, a barrier against moisture and burrowing rodents. She pours her cache of nuts into the hole and covers it with more stones, then dirt, packing it down and marking the spot with a single, oddly shaped river rock. This is more than just storage. It is a diversified subsistence strategy, a hedge against a future where the bison may not come. She has built a larder. As she stands, exhausted, her hands round her body aching, she looks at her strange constructions. The clan sees madness. She sees the future, and she knows the winter will be the judge. The world turns, the days shorten, the warm winds giving way to a cold, biting gust that carries the first scent of snow. The great feast is a distant memory, and the last of the bison carcasses have been picked clean by hyenas in time. The clan's bellies, once full and full, the easy abundance of autumn is gone, and the cold, lean reality of their existence returns. This is the predictable rhythm of their paleogolicy, a world of boom and bust where only the present matters. The female's racks of drying meat are now shrunken, blackened strips, hard as wood. The clan ignores them, seeing them as spoiled, inedible remnants of a fool's work. Then the snow comes. Not a gentle dusting, but a thick, wet blanket that falls for days, burying the landscape, silencing the world, entrapping them in their rock shelter. The hunt is impossible. The familiar trails are gone. The animals hunker down or move to lower valleys. Hunger, a familiar old enemy, creeps back into the camp. It starts as a dull ache and grows into a gnawing, cramping pain that eclipses all other thought. The children are the first to weaken, their playful energy fading into a listless, silent lethargy. The adults sit huddled in their furs, conserving what little energy they have left. Their eyes dart with a familiar, fatalistic despair. This is the crucible that has shaped Homo neanderthalensis for 100,000 years, a test of brute endurance. The innovator watches. She waits. She lets the hunger sharpen, lets the old way of life prove its own inadequacy. She must choose the right moment. To reveal her secret too soon would be to waste it. To wait too long would be to lose the weakest of the clan. It is a terrible, calculated choice, a hard lesson in the grim calculus of survival. Finally, when the alpha hunter, a massive male, fails to rise from his furs, his own immense strength sapped by days of starvation, she knows the time has come. She walks to the back of the cave, to the spot marked by the odd river rock. The others watch with dull, incurious eyes. She digs, her movements slow and deliberate. She lifts the top stones and reaches in, pulling out a handful of perfectly preserved acorns. She then walks to the entrance, to the now snow-dusted racks of meat. She pulls down one of the hard, black strips. She takes it to the fire, warms it until it softens slightly, and then, with a sharp flint, she shaves off a small piece and eats it. There is no triumph in her expression, only a quiet, profound vindication. She offers a piece to the nearest child, who sniffs it suspiciously before chewing. The taste of salt, of smoke, of life spreads across the child's face. It is a miracle, an act of altruism that is also an act of revolution. One by one, The clan members rise and come to her, their mockery forgotten, their eyes filled with a dawning, shattering realization. The future is not a thing to be endured. It is a thing that can be built. This is not just food. It is hope. It is the first victory, not of the spear, but of the mind. The old ways, the tyranny of the present moment, have been broken forever by a single act of cognitive foresight. The invention of food storage was not a single event, but a slow, dawning realization that echoed in caves and shelters across the ancient world. But imagine that first innovator, the one who saw not just a meal, but a season. That individual's true tool was not the flint knife, but the ability to stand in a moment of plenty and feel the coming cold. To mentally time, travel into the future and act on its behalf. This was a profound leap in consciousness, a key moment in the long story of human ancestors. It was the moment humanity stopped being merely a passenger on the river of seasons and began to build a dam. Every palm tree, every silo, every refrigerator in the world today is a direct descendant of that first, desperate act of foresight. We have surrounded ourselves with such abundance that we have forgotten the terror of the empty belly, forgotten that for most of our history, the single greatest intellectual challenge was not art or philosophy, but how to make the gifts of autumn last until spring. That ancient, patient wisdom is the bedrock upon which all of our complex societies are built. The greatest acts of creation are not born from inspiration, but from the memory of starvation. What happens when the thing you hunt begins to hunt you back?